made people do Kumbhak during Corona period, and people tagged Kumbhak as ventilator. Energies converge and create a quality. You get tied up in the body. You want to take some support of medicine, then you should shift to some natural medication. If you want to increase your capacity, Kumbhak is the most powerful.
Namaste, Swamiji. So in this episode, I want to actually have an input from you and want to know more about the respiratory health because Kumbhak is basically breath hold techniques and it's directly related to the respiratory health of the body. Is it? Am I framing that statement right? So breath has a direct relation with the respiratory organ, lungs, etc. That is the first image that comes to mind. So I want to understand from you, since respiratory disease, we are staying in Delhi, so it's pretty common to have respiratory issues, and so how do we integrate Kumbhak into improving the respiratory health?
So Kumbhak and the prana factor, they have a direct relationship. You can measure the prana factor through Kumbhak. In fact, Kumbhak is how the prana gets its dynamic functionality.
Right.
Also, the breath, the origin of breath happens from something called as prarabdha, the data of the past that you are carrying, or the tendencies that you are carrying.
Right.
How your breath is functioning basically depends upon the prarabdha or the data. It is just like the functioning aspect of a software.
Right.
Kind of data that you put, that's how it functions. So, the prarabdha, when it starts functioning or it starts expressing itself, that aspect is called as Kurma Nadi.
Kurma Nadi. I have heard about this somewhere. I don't remember exactly where. Yeah.
So, the Kurma Nadi factor, how much it will diverge into different functionality of your body depends on 6 different balas or the strength factors of your system.
Right.
This is also called as Shada Bala. Now, Shada Bala, to name it, Deha Bala, Dhatu Bala, Agni Bala, Mano Bala, Dosh Bala, Ojas Bala. These are 6 balas that your body exhibits or your body has.
Okay.
Now, the intensity of these balas will actually decide what kind of distribution of this pranic factor happens in your body.
Okay.
Now, although I don't want to name a particular thing called chakra, but then these 6 balas have an association with 6 aspects of life, which is cyclical in nature.
Right.
And they are called as chakras. But not the way people are taking chakras as.
Is the sensation points where maximum sensations happen in the body, right?
Not really.
Okay.
Chakras are that area where energies converge and create a quality. Quality in terms of a living being, the quality a living being exhibit. Also how the heart functions.
Heart chakra.
No, not heart chakra. How the very physical heart.
The functioning of
the
heart
functioning
itself.
of heart, the functioning of kidney, the functioning of liver.
Right, right.
It can also be attributed to how the energy gets distributed. The distribution of energy is always cyclical.
Right.
So that is why we call it chakra. Right. So see, you also know, if you get up in the morning and there is a song playing somewhere
Mm-hmm.
and you'll heard that song will keep playing in your mind throughout the day.
Yes.
The mind is also cyclical. Chakra means cyclical. Your life is also cyclical. The food that you eat goes to the mud, becomes food again, and you eat it back.
Yes.
It is also cyclical. The food chakra. You can call it food chakra. Your blood flows in a cyclical manner. From arteries to veins and back to lung and heart. It goes in a cyclical manner. So everything happens in this world in a cyclical manner. The world is cyclical in nature. That is why we call it samsara, cyclical. In that cycle, you are talking about a particular cycle, right, which you have never experienced. Have you experienced any chakra?
I don't even know. I might have, but can't pinpoint.
No. It is very difficult to be aware of a chakra. It is because it is too complex.
Okay.
It is too complex. You will have to see many things at a time. But the way the chakra game is going on across the globe, it will destroy the possibility of that science. So, the Kurma Nadi and then their distribution and their different aspects and quality of functional life. But fundamentally, you need to have 6 different strengths. These 6 different strengths also translate to 6 different chakras, fundamental chakras in your body.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
The Deha Bala attributes to the Muladhara chakra. Right? And the Ojas Bala attributes to the Agnya chakra. Not going deep into that. But then there are also 6 basic doorways to explore life. And our culture actually explores life through 6 different fundamental lineages.
Yes.
Like, for example, there is something called as Mimamsa.
Sorry.
Mimamsa.
Okay.
Mimamsa is a whole ecosystem of exploring life to its depth. It pertains to what you call as Anahat. Then comes something called as Nyaya. Nyaya, which in general term we call it as law.
Yeah.
It is not law. It is basically not the law of the government, but the law of nature, law of life.
Okay.
So Nyaya. Then something called as Sankhya.
Numbers.
Sankhya. You must have heard Sankhya philosophy.
I have not.
Then Kapil Muni, who has actually explored the whole Sankhya philosophy. First of all, we need to understand there is no philosophy in India. Everything is darshan. There are 6 darshan shastras. I'm talking about those darshan shastras, which because of a certain strength in your system, you can explore a particular dimension of life or a particular darshan lineage of life.
Okay.
So then it is Sankhya, then it is Vaisheshika, Yoga Darshan, and then Vedanta. These are 6 basically darshan shastras in Bharatiya Parampara,
Got it.
and it pertains to a particular chakra. So if you have one aspect of life more intense in your system,
Yeah.
then you can dwell that path and see or experience the depth of life through that. But it also has a certain sequence in life also. Initially, when a kid is born, there is an aspect called Mimamsa, which is more active. When the kid goes up, become teenager, the Nyaya factor actually becomes more active. And that's why you see a change in the personality of that kid. Right? Then the Sankhya factor actually ignites later on in the life, in the youth. Sankhya, then comes Vaisheshika, then comes at a certain period of time, there is a midlife crisis and the person goes towards spirituality. The yoga factor starts And when you have actually seen the depth of yoga, then the Vedanta aspect actually ignites in a person. So 6 things. There are different ways of exploring that 6. Through numerology, we can explore 6. But your fundamental strength of your body has 6 different branches or 6 different qualities.
Right.
These are Shada Bala.
Shada Bala.
These are Shada Bala. 6 balas. It is very fundamental to your prarabdha, the data that you are carrying, and the way you are exhibiting your life at this point of time.
Yeah.
These 2 things combined together gives what you call as the throw to these 6 balas, the expression to these 6 balas. One of the fundamental organ which helps in that is heart and lung.
Okay.
In association.
For all 6 balas.
For all 6 balas. Now 6 balas are fundamental, therefore they have an association with something called as Dakshin Bala. There are 3 fundamental Agnis or transformative forces in the human system or in nature. So Dakshin Bala is fundamental to it, which actually expresses itself into 6 balas. The
Dakshin as in the west?
South.
South, yeah.
Dakshin means south.
Okay.
When energy goes south, that means it goes down, only then life is formed.
Okay.
Right? Only if the body's energy goes down. Puberty, in puberty, what happens? There is a start of menstrual cycle. That means the things start going down. In a male, it's like throwing off of sperm, formation of sperm.
Yeah.
So this is also called as apana paksha. Apana paksha, or this aspect, the whole ecosystem is called as kaya avrohan. Kaya avrohan is something through which there is a tie-up, something called as pashupat. You get tied up in the body.
Got it.
That's how you get tied up in the body. And pashupat, you are a pashu. Going downward energy is always called as pashu.
Okay.
So that's how the body gets formed. You get tied up with the body. The downward energy.
Got it. And where does Kumbhak come into play in this?
So there is a conversation between Mahadev and Parvati. And Parvati asked Mahadev, what is the bala of living world? Kim balam sarva balam. And Mahadev answers, Kumbhak balam sarva balam. So Kumbhak is something through which the balas get intensified.
Okay.
Or gets formed. The manufacturing hub or the manufacturing of balas happen through Kumbhak.
Okay.
So if you want to establish these 6 balas in your body, then you have to do Kumbhak in a particular pattern and order.
Okay, to get that cut, like you said, the path and where you're going to achieve the wisdom of this life, once you integrate Kumbhak into that, it'll be a much faster process.
It will be a faster process of you can say even the evolutionary purpose of life.
Right.
It will happen faster. But then how you express yourself in the world, you do whatever, your job, your work, your family life and your career and everything. It all depends on the kind of balas you have. A successful person and an unsuccessful person has just the difference of 6 balas. If you improve these balas, you'll see you'll become more successful in your life. Because that's how you function. Bala is something, that's how the dynamism gets implemented.
All by yourself? Like once you start practicing Kumbhak, you'll start gaining that sort of clarity, is what you're saying?
Yes, of course, of course.
And you would not need like an external mentor of sort?
See, you don't know the path. You don't know which direction you are going. You don't have that kind of a perception or know-how or drishti. So a person who is a drashta, who can see, you should always practice Kumbhak under his guidance.
Okay. Okay.
On your own, if you go, you can go in a wrong direction completely.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can create a such possibility or a situation where you may not come out of that problem forever.
Hit and trial. Hit and trial.
Hit and trial. So it's always, if you don't know the path, if you don't know where to go, you always seek a guide.
Yeah. Where you can reach in 10 minutes, why take 10 years to reach there, no?
So these Shada Balas, through Shada Balas, you can actually come out of asthmatic condition. We have
Right.
people who have come out of their puffs.
Hmm.
Within 10 days, they come out of their puffs, their steroid intake, something like as a lung capacity increases. We made people do Kumbhak during Corona period, and people tagged Kumbhak as ventilator, natural ventilator of the body. They didn't need ventilator. So people into lung condition, when they do Kumbhak and there are obstructive disorders, diseases in the lung,
Yeah.
it gets cleared slowly and steadily. You will see the lung becomes clear. People even into cancerous situation of lungs, they didn't get the lung cancer even after removing certain part of lung. They didn't get cancer back in the lung. The relapse didn't happen in the lung because they were doing Kumbhak. The lung capacity will increase. The lung capacity or the Kurma Nadi is also connected with the mental aspect of your body. So if the lung capacity increases, you'll see people into lung issues, they get into dementia very easily. They forget things very easily. And after doing Kumbhak, they start remembering things. They come out of their mind issues also.
If people have lung issues, they have they are prone to have dementia.
They are prone to have some kind of a mind issue also.
Okay. Schizophrenia, dementia, whatever.
You will see that a person who is into some kind of a mental stress will also have a difficult breathing
Okay.
associated along with it. So that means the lung or the breathing process gets impacted immediately if you get into any kind of a mental issue. Something happens, you see the breath pattern changes.
Yes.
The body takes the hit later on. First, the mind takes the hit. So doing Kumbhaks, establishing Shada Bala has helped lot of thousands and thousands of people now. I had a person who had reached to a state where he couldn't speak a full sentence without coughing. And he was losing his mind and memory. And within 3 months of Kumbhak, from 16 tablets, the person came down to 1 tablet.
Beautiful.
And started doing his work, going to office, and he had a big business, construction business. So people say interstitial lung disease cannot be treated. It can be treated. People say then autoimmune disorder, which happens, which can actually worsen the condition of lung health, can be handled. But then medicine cannot cure you. Food cannot cure you. It can be of some help at certain period of time. When the situation is too difficult, you can take some chemical medicine for a short period of time.
Yeah.
For a long period of time, if you want to take some support of medicine, then you should shift to some natural medication. Food is something which can correct you. It will stay with you for life. But there is no option for Kumbhak. You have to do it if you want to come out of it. Even if people who are asthmatic from childhood, we have seen people who do Kumbhak, they come out of chromosomal defect, and we have lab reports of that. Chromosomal defect, that means Kumbhak can correct your genetics also.
Okay.
So since we have deviated the human genome at this point of time, the humanity needs Kumbhak to get back to the same strong genetics that we had long time back.
Got it. So the term for the respiratory Kumbhak is Shadang Pratishta.
Pratishtha, yes. Establishing the 6 strengths of your body,
Okay.
or 6 balas of your body.
Something I found very interesting, Swamiji, you said so everyone has 6 types of bal, and whatever your type of bal, you should, go in that direction because you would have more probability of achieving what you're trying to achieve and reach to the wisdom stage. Um, and you spoke of a mentor. So mentor, can someone just look at you and talk to you and would get to know that this is your strength? Is that what you meant?
Yes, it can be done very easily.
Okay. Like how?
I can look at you and tell that you have this particular strength, but then not
Like what?
everyone.
Like what? Like since we've been speaking for hours.
No, secret should not be out in open.
Okay. Okay.
But yes, it can be seen what quality, and I also have a plan to. I've already started a Gurukul.
Okay.
I have plans that we can establish this kind of knowledge, so that diagnosis can be done to find out the strength factor of a kid, and we can actually train the kid in that direction of strength, and there is more chance of success and extraordinary achievement
Right.
and that we can achieve. And that's what has happened long time back in India. The kind of exploration, invention and discoveries that we did without even the structures that we made thousands of years back,
Right. Without any beakers in the labs.
without any those kind of advanced equipment, is just amazing. We have even figured out what is the distance between sun and earth, and
Right.
thousands of years back.
Right.
And we have discovered steel. And Shri Krishna, Mahabharata, Shri Krishna
Yes.
was the first person to discover steel.
Steel.
Yes, and we don't even acknowledge him.
What are the traces of information for that? Like that he discovered steel.
There is evidence in Mahabharata
Okay.
that the metal he discovered didn't rust, and it has a carbon content, which is today's steel.
Okay.
So he discovered steel and what not. There are a lot of things. The kind of Jyotish Ganna we did thousands of years back. We discovered vaccination was discovered by Indian people, by Bharatiya people. And the calculation, Vedic mathematics, we say the mathematics was a gift to the world from our side. But they have changed the name. Like Mahamrityunjay series have become Fibonacci series.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So we don't even acknowledge the trigonometry. What is Pythagoras theorem was actually he read it at Kanchipuram from Bhaskara to, I suppose, if I'm not wrong. So we don't acknowledge Bhaskara for Pythagoras theorem. The metallurgy, we were so advanced in. Zinc, nobody knew about zinc for many centuries. We were extracting zinc. So metallurgy, science in terms of physics, as I said, number, in terms of creating a society, nyaya, these are all our doing. And how did we do it? By increasing or opening the door, which could be opened through one factor, one bala. We improved that. The whole Gurukul education is to improve Shada Bala, to improve your capability. It is just like if there is a glass which can hold 200 ml of water, you can't put 1 liter into it.
Yes.
Howsoever you think, and you have wish for that, but it will not happen unless until you increase the capacity of that glass. And Kumbhak can do that, nothing else. So if you want to increase your capacity, Kumbhak is the most powerful way or methodology.
And what you spoke about, that breath and mental health, if lungs get affected, then mental health is going to be deeply affected, which is pretty evident. If anyone has a panic attack or an anxiety attack, they start breathing very
Breathing
heavily,
heavily. Yes.
which, so yeah, doing Kumbhak can help them
Of
get rid
course.
of
And we have a lot
anxiety
of
and
proof for that. A lot of
panic.
people who have come out of anxiety and those kind of issues.
Right, right. Perfect. Thank you so much, Swamiji. This was an amazing session, and then of course the secret I would want to know. Thank you so much, Swamiji.